the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Everything you need for home decorating, you're going to find it at Westside Decorating Center. Good morning to you on a Thursday morning. We have a great morning ahead because we're going to look at some wonderful, wonderful businesses in this area and some of the history behind them. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, Martha Zender will be with us to talk about the new water park in Frankenmuth and other things going on there. At 11 o'clock on Focus, we will learn about Serenity Bay Health from a guest. But for this hour, we are going to talk about one of the most successful family businesses in this area. It was created back in 1968, as we will learn from our guest today. It is Amigo Mobility. You've probably, if you've ever been in Bridgeport, driving down the Dixie, seen their facility. And with us this morning, first of all, the man that had the vision out of need, as we will find out. We say good morning to the chairman of Amigo, and he is Al Teamy. Al, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks
nice
for
of you to
with.
invite me.
Oh,
thank you.
Glad to have you here. Also is the better half. I couldn't resist, Al. But his wife, Beth, who is the president and CEO of the company. Beth, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for being here. All right, so we have to go back to the beginning. In 1968, you're a plumbing and heating contractor. What prompted you and moved you to start Amigo and invent this product?
I was married rather young, and at the age of 29 years old, Marie and I had 6 children. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I was busy running the plumbing business. I didn't have time to take care of the kids or go grocery shopping. Toward the end of the day, Marie would become very fatigued. That wasn't good. She wasn't able to take care of the family and also help in the plumbing business by taking care of the phone. So we had friends ask us to go to Mexico with them. In Mexico, the fatigue, the heat, we had to rent a wheelchair.
A regular, everyday wheelchair, right?
Regular, standard wheelchair, yes. And I said to Marie, I said, this is ridiculous. I don't want to be pushing you around. She didn't want to be pushed around. So I made some sketches, and I sketched out a device that had a battery on it, a swivel seat. I found an engineer in Saginaw to help me put it together. Art, it worked.
And this is a time before the battery technology of today was available. This was old wet cell technology, wasn't it? Pretty much, or sealed system technology? Because it wasn't what we have today.
The original batteries had liquid acid in them.
Liquid acid, the old wet cells.
That was difficult. I remember times we'd go to a show and I'd have to carry the battery separate from the Amigos. Then at the show, we put acid in the batteries. When you put acid in a fresh battery, the smell is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, we had some times.
Oh, I remember having to top off car batteries, the same way. You had to put battery fluid in there, and it was acid, and it was you were way ahead of your time considering the electric push today.
There wasn't anything like that back then in 68, 70s. To get the concept accepted was very difficult. And the marketing, you can build a product. Getting it to market, that's a tough thing.
That was going to be my next question, because here you are sitting in Bridgeport, Michigan, and you have a plumber in Bridgeport, Michigan. So how did you introduce it to first the state and the country and expand your universe as you have today?
We tried all kinds of things to get exposure. But what finally then worked is when I would sell the Amigo to someone, and I focused on women with MS with families because I saw what it did for Marie.
That was the
so that was
creation,
my
yeah.
focus, and that worked. They then came to me and said, I get a lot of questions. I'd like to sell these. So we set up a multiple sales system using Amigo owners. At one time then, and then we started growing 50% a year. Of course, if you're only selling 5 a month, 50% isn't too much. But it grew, and after about 10 years, we had over 500 salespeople, people that were using our product, selling out of their home, out of their garage. It worked.
And those people typically knew others in their same condition who needed these kinds of things. It was a natural, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
a
Beth,
natural.
what's that? You answer that one for me.
Yes. Yes, it was natural. I think they really felt the benefit of the product, and they spoke with passion about the product and how it changed their lives.
And it's interesting. I don't want to get too personal in the family, but we were talking before we went on the air, and your family is described as batch 1 and batch 2. Explain this.
So Alan, his first wife, Marie, had 6 children, grown and raised, and then we got married and had 5 more.
Wow.
Yeah. We're
And
blessed.
some are still in the business with you, right?
Yes. The 2 oldest in batch 2 are in the business and going to take it to the next generation.
So fast forward to today, from 1968 to today, you build a lot more than just that first scooter. How many varieties of the scooter are there?
Well,
I would say we have, just for healthcare purposes, for
right.
people's own use, we probably have 5 different models, from a travel lightweight model to a more advanced model for indoor-outdoor use.
And then on top of that, you have models designed for grocery stores.
oh, that's the big part of our business now, is selling to grocery stores. Now, here's another thing, Art, is kind of interesting. Trying to get exposure of the Amigo in the early days, I tried everything. One of the things I tried was to put a big basket on it and sell it to Meyer Thrifty Acres. And at that time, Fred Meyer's mother had arthritis, and nobody thought you'd ever have a motorized device in a store getting groceries. We did, and Meyer's for probably 4 or 5 years was the only grocery store that would have a motorized cart in the store. Today, that is 90% of our business. And Beth, what stores do we all have that are using our Amigo?
Of the top 10 retailers in the United States, we sell to 9 of them.
And we should point out, everything's in Bridgeport.
Everything's made and shipped
Still
from Bridgeport.
in Bridgeport. You haven't
Yes.
opened up factories. You haven't outsourced to China. You haven't done any of that. It's all right here.
It's all right here. In fact, we almost 2 years ago bought a manufacturing business from one of our on-site vendors and added to it. And so now we're vertically integrated and actually cutting our own steel and forming and bending our own steel.
Oh, my goodness.
I never knew how to do that kind of work. I could get ideas, and I'm creative, but I'm not a manufacturer. And to see now that we have our own manufacturing facility is pretty rewarding. And the young man that is the manager of that is doing a tremendous job, Michael Mammal. And our son Jordan, who talked to you, Art,
Yeah.
a week or 2 ago, he has just so much picked up on the manufacturing end of the company. I'm in awe.
How did you go about getting a patent? I assume you went and got a patent. Did you not?
He did. He got a patent on on components of the first Amigo. But the challenge with patents is, you can design around them. So you spend a lot of money getting the patent, and even more so today, and then you've got to defend your patent, which is another added cost. So we do have some patents, but I think our approach has always been to out-design, out-perform any competition out there.
Out-quality and all that stuff.
Yes.
And that's it.
And Art, you couldn't patent a platform with wheels. What we did get a patent on is certain specific devices that we built into the Amigo.
Right. All right, we're going to take a break and come back. We're talking to Al and Beth Teamy from Amigo Mobility, and we will have more about it when we return here on the Art Lewis Show. Right now, all right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to Al and Beth Teamy from Amigo Mobility Center in Bridgeport, Manufacturers of the Year in 2012 here from the Michigan Manufacturers Association. And we were talking during the break, Beth and Al, and I called Amigo and the growth of Amigo an evolution, because you have evolved into more than just one mobility product. It is amazing how many products you make now in all kinds of fields. Like, I was looking up something about the company before you arrived today, and I was stunned to see that you make airport tugs, electric tugs for airplanes. Now, not the big ones that they make for 747s, but for private pilots and smaller airplanes in airports, you have this electric tug they can haul an airplane around with. How did you get to that?
Well, that's kind of interesting. I'm the creative one, always looking for new things. Beth always says, no matter what I come up with, it's no, Art. Well, interesting. One of our suppliers supplied electronics to a company in Wisconsin. This man is a pilot, and he built tuggers for private airplanes. He wanted to retire, and Beth heard about that. And because he is older, Beth just meshed with him. She seems to mesh with older men pretty well. Yeah, she's got me.
Don't look at me. I'm not saying anything. I'm staying out of this one.
So it's really interesting. Beth, without even talking to me about it, met with this person and bought this company. That was 4 years ago.
About 2.5 years ago.
Is that the president's prerogative? Is that?
Yes, I did involve him.
I forgot.
The man who sold it, very wonderful man, he and I just connected very well. And he said, I'm 75 years old, and I've come to the realization I have more years behind me than I've got in front of me. And I've got to do something with my business. So we did not know airplane tugs, but we invited him to Amigo. And then we had a couple pilots from Harry Brown Airport that we knew well come over and look at the product and kind of give us some advice. And so we did that. We negotiated the price and moved the business to Michigan.
And did you then, out of curiosity and knowing Al, did you redesign the product to some degree?
Well, it's interesting. This man, he was so passionate about his product. He said, please don't make a change to it for a year. Well, there were a few things we wanted to change. I told our people, no, do not change. That year is up, and we have made some very nice improvements to this small plane tugger.
Do you keep in touch with this guy? Has he seen the improvements?
He has. We went to the Oshkosh. We exhibited it in Oshkosh, which was a great experience. And he came over and gave me a big hug. And he said, I'm pretty proud of you guys. He was basically selling his baby. And so we very much respected that.
Well, you understand that.
Yes.
Because your baby is in that first cart you ever built.
Yes.
And Amigo is just that, a family business.
Yes.
And it is, in this day and age, it's refreshing to see a family business that still manufactures in the United States. You've never thought about anything else, have you? It's always been here.
No, we love this area because, number one, you have ready supply and resource to a lot of components. And then secondly, the work ethic of this area is tremendous. We are so proud of our Amigo team who puts these products together and services them and sells them, and it's wonderful.
So from the guy that created it in 1968 to today, how many employees do you now have?
We have 140 employees working in Bridgeport.
Some of those family, too. A few of them, anyway, right?
A couple family members, but we call ourselves the Amigo family. So it's one big family out there.
140 strong.
Yes.
And you don't, knowing you guys, you don't see an end to the potential for growth, do you?
No. What we learned, and we had rough times in the business where certain markets started to deteriorate and it changed.
And economics and
Yes.
the world changes, yeah.
And so we started out saying we're good in healthcare. Then we said we're really good in grocery. And then we stopped saying we're really good in a market. What we're really good at is batteries, wheels, motors, chargers, and controllers. That's what our expertise is. And once we embraced that thought, now we can make motorized products for any market. So we now have companies coming to us or entities coming to us and saying, could you motorize this? Can you do this? And we look at everything as a new opportunity.
Do you have engineers on staff then that create these products?
Yes, we have 6 mechanical and 2 electrical.
And from that, you can take almost anything with wheels and figure out how to make it self-propelled.
We can do that, and when you have a visionary in your company, that
That's
helps
me.
a lot.
Have you stopped saying no?
Yeah, no. So a true visionary, every company needs them. That's how you succeed, is having that visionary. But he has 10 great ideas, and he thinks all 10 are great ideas.
Only 9 of them are art.
Yes.
Yeah, about 9.
And I might say 1 or 2.
That's tough.
So how many no's have become products?
Okay, I will say there was one, and I tell everybody this story because I say Al Teamy is a genius. 9 or 10 years ago, he came to me and he said, I have an idea.
And you said, oh, no.
Yes. And so he said, how about, we know how many motorized shopping carts we sell and our competitors sell. Why don't we get them back when they're broken and done? And I looked at him and I said, why would we do that? We make new product. We're trying to sell new product. Why do we want old stuff back? And it absolutely became a genius part of our business. We are into full environmental recycling. So we get all carts back to our company, 5 to 7 truckloads a week.
Whoa.
And we buy back our competitors' products, our products, and cart retrievers. And we bring them in and we take them apart. Maybe 6 months before they were going to be thrown out, a new controller was put on it or a new charger was put on it. We harvest those things that would have all gone into the landfill. We clean, recertify, test, and sell them as recertified parts on the service market. So one of our retailers in 1 year saved $1.2 million buying recertified parts. Because then they have a cart, maybe that's 4 years old. Why buy a brand new part if you're just trying to get a year or 2 more out of it?
And you recycle the rest?
We
Well, you can
properly recycle the rest. Yeah. And so not only is it good for the environment, but our salespeople, our engineers can go down, see the wear points on our product, learn the wear points on our competitors' products, and make product better.
We're going to take a break. We're talking to Al and Beth Teamy. We'll be back with more. Amigo Mobility Center in Bridgeport is where it's all at. Let me take a moment to tell you about Quick Lane Freeland, right next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. It's where you go for all of your routine maintenance, oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, the like. You'll find it all waiting for you at Quick Lane Freeland. You'll also find a product called FrigiFresh. Now, FrigiFresh is a hospital-grade disinfectant. They place this in your air conditioning system, and it kills germs, mildew, odors, all of it. Keeps you healthy as you drive your car. And best of all, it only costs $20. It only takes 10 minutes, and you don't need an appointment. You can simply show up and ask for FrigiFresh. It's all happening at Quick Lane Freeland, and remember, they service all makes and models of cars and trucks, keeping them in tip-top shape for you. Quick Lane Freeland, next to McDonald Ford.
It's been almost 4 decades.
Hi, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. In studio with me, Alan Beth Teamy from Amigo in Bridgeport. Just move away from manufacturing just for a moment or two, because you not only do your business in this region in Bridgeport where you've been since the beginning, but you give to the region too. Being a good corporate citizen, if you will, is pretty important in your world, isn't it?
It is, and we, we've been blessed in life. We've had hard times in our business and little scary times in our business, but we've been tremendously blessed. And so we like to get involved in our community, become active in our community, serve our community, and then share our blessings with the community.
And I imagine a lot of your product is rolling around in this community,
yes,
in this region.
You can't go to a grocery store, and I go up to people and I'll talk to them about the Amigo, but I've also seen a person where they can't get it moving, and I'll go over and flip a switch for them and show them how to use it, and then they look at me like, "Who are you?" And I say, "Oh, I just work there." And so
yeah, you just work there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask this, Al, from vision, from the time you can envision a product to the time you get that product to market, how long? How long does it take to design and build a product?
Well, he's got to get through 3 no's first
Well,
from
but
me.
we don't count that. Let's start with the yes.
I don't wait around. I don't look into a lot of details. I get an idea and I go with it fast. I would say that when we returned from Mexico and I had some sketches, immediately I found engineer Gene Fisher here in Saginaw, Michigan, and he and I worked on it, and within 9 months,
Okay, that's...
we had a device that worked.
You know, and I have to point this out. I guess it's easier when you're the visionary to the builder to get it done. Because in the corporate world, by the time they design it and it goes through a million yeses and nos and all of that, it's years sometimes. You, as a family business, you really can move quicker, can't you?
Yes, we can. We make decisions a little bit quicker, but there are a lot of steps to building a product, the testing alone. And, we're exposed to so much more technology. I mean, what we can offer on an Amigo Shopper today, for example, for the grocery stores is way different than we could even 20 years ago.
That was going to be one of my questions. How different is the Amigo of today from the Amigo of 1968 when you first built it?
In small increments, we found changes, and living with Marie day and night, using it, every minute I saw a way to improve the product. So that's where so much of the improvements came from. And also, we stayed in touch with our Amigo owners that we sold to. We sent newsletters to them. We'd have Amigo roundups, getting them together. And even today, in my office, I have a screen of our showroom. And when I see an Amigo come in, Amigo owner coming in, I go down and I talk to him.
That's the family business.
Yes.
All right. One more break, and we'll come back with our last segment with our guests, Beth and Al Teamy.
When's the last time you had your ear done?
And we are back with you here on WSGW. So let me ask you this, Al. Have you ever thought about a product and realized you couldn't bring it to market?
Well, I don't.
Yes.
I don't know.
I gather
What
he
would that
doesn't
be?
take the word no very well,
Right.
does he?
We have a lineup of, he has a list of products we've created over the years.
And they're all unique. They're all different. I don't. We are not a copycat. I can't stand to copy somebody, even though we are doing that this year. There have always been cart retrievers, these big things that bring the manual carts in. The company that had 90% market share is not doing well. So Walmart came to us and said, you need to build us a cart retriever.
From ground up.
We're just starting to sell it in the last few months. But that is the only product of probably 20 different products that we are a copycat.
We're not a copycat. We made it better.
Well, I was going to say you designed your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're copycatting the need,
Yes.
if you will, and a company came to you and said, "Do this." A little company like Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Art, I think you mentioned, you ever had anything I've come up with that isn't working yet? Yes. Bringing those manual carts in from the parking lot to the store, they're pushed in. They push a whole bunch of them. Al Bussinger and I, he's been with us a long time in R&D. We came up with a product to bring these carts in where you pull them in. But you think I could get
A yes out of your wife?
exactly? It was no. It was no. It was no. So we have this beautiful device sitting in our showroom, and one of these days,
You're going to get a yes.
one of these days, yeah.
Is he?
Maybe.
But at the same time, if a Walmart came to you and said, we want to pull them in, you'd say yes in a hurry, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yes, I would. But
But Beth won't let me talk to the people at Walmart.
correct.
Yes.
I'll bet there's some interesting
Oh, dear.
conversations. I just have to.
Oh, we do have fun. Yeah.
Well, it's just so refreshing. I love family businesses. I think that they are the backbone of this country because it's always innovators and entrepreneurs that build them and run them. We got a lot of major corporations. They employ a lot of people. But when you get right down to it, how many of those major corporations started out in somebody's garage?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
really, when you think about it, as innovators, you are an innovator above all, because without your innovations and whatever it was that pushed you to innovate, you wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and then to have the wherewithal to build the company the way you have, and to keep it up through good times and bad. That takes some strength of purpose, doesn't it?
It does. We love what we do, and that's why we go there every day. We have a passion for the business, the people that work there, our customers, and we want to keep this going as a family business forever.
And I recognize that because I have a passion for what I do, and I have always found people with a passion don't let challenges get in the way. They just figure out how to solve them. My dad always taught me, in life, it's not the problem, it's how you solve it. Mm-hmm. And that's true, isn't it?
So
it's
true.
true in
Yeah.
it's true in manufacturing. It's true in marriage.
Yes.
It's true in life.
Yes.
When you have problems, it is an opportunity to grow. And without problems, businesses wouldn't grow as fast and as solid as when you do have the challenges.
My dad also taught me something else. Mistakes are not failures, they're teaching tools.
Yes.
From mistakes, you learn to do something better.
And I have caused quite a few of those to happen to us. So that,
Let me ask your wife
congratulations,
about
Al,
that.
you're making us stronger. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, Art.
Oh, am I in trouble with Beth? Well, listen, this has been a great pleasure to have you two here and hear this miraculous story of a growth company in this region. Thank you much for what you do to the community, and just thank you for being friends.
Our company and myself wouldn't be where we are with our wonderful people we have working, and of course, Beth is such a big part of my growth and our company.
I can
Thank
see
you.
it.
Thank
That's
you.
a nice way to end. Thanks, both of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be back to close out the hour.
What makes Dairyland Seed